Receivers, but with their acrobatics, with their speed, with their moxie, and the way they go up and get the football, they can change the outcome of a game in an instant.
Here's Blair Walsh now about ready to get us started. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now it's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And now running right through it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now Bell. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where either big tight end is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. I know everyone wants that prototypical wide receiver, you know, the 6'3", 200-plus pound guy, like a Julio Jones and A.J. Green and Dez Bryant. Antonio Brown just shatters that, doesn't he? Smaller in stature, but still able to use his quickness, his elusiveness, and his strength to create big plays.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cliff Averill in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Second down following the run. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. With it is Brown. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
They'll run it with Bell. Oh, and now he bowls him. Le'Veon Bell. It's a foot race. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, 28 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished second. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought was going to be the guy. He got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He gets it to Baldwin, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Ryan Shazier in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now Brown. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
And never mind, Larry. These 2 teams apparently anxious to get back at it. This will be taken in at the 1. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there. 65 yards. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fielded about a yard deep. A strong running. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now Roethlisberger to throw. This one complete, right side to And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard, right near the 39. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll go again with Bell. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run with Bell. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Le'Veon Bell stopped short of the line to gain. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. To throw on 3rd down. Wilson. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And this will be blown dead right around the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock.
Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And out now come the Seahawks. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Carson. And some room to work. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Wilson on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Throwing now is Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Wilson. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Now a first down carry by Bell. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On second down, it's Bell. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here we go.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And, oh, a big collision there. He's hit and knocked backward. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.